Yay. Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Cinco.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hey,
That
welcome
sounded
back.
very, very light. Spooky.
Yo.
Spooky. I don't know if that was the word I was thinking. But...
Sorry, I'm multitasking. That the wrong word came out.
Well, if you're joining us right now, welcome to Technically Speaking.
Right?
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
I'll
Welcome
listen to
to the
There,
show.
the effects
There
are
we
back.
go.
All right.
There we go. Yeah, we back. This is episode 57, right?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
5-7.
That's what's up. Hey, like Miss Bobby with an I, because why is for a guy said, welcome to episode 57 of Technically Speaking, where we are giving you news.
You can
And
use.
you can use.
Hey.
And
Hey,
before
one
we
of these
move any
days-
further, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, get it out there early.
Because we're
Yep.
giving you news that you can use. And we're
Yeah,
going to
man.
down like the bottom of the ground.
Thumbs up, guys.
I was listening to last week's episode when you said that. I'm like, man, this dude got them quotables, boy.
Man.
He be having them quotables, man. Hey, I was gonna say, man, we need to start practicing offline so we could be in sync when we say you can use like they do on Big Boy. Like, how do they do that on Big Boy? Because they keep on it every time they do it. They be like, Big Boy, like all
They
of
are probably because they're in the same building. that does it.
I'm out of rhythm on that one, huh?
That could probably help. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, with all of us probably streaming in and calling in over here. Our different network connections can probably cause answer to be slower than others.
And I do got Spectrum, so I mean, just
I got them.
Me too. Oh, really? All of us got Spectrum.
Oh yeah.
Man, I unplugged that cable cord a long time ago.
I don't have them for cable. I just got them for internet.
Out here in the country,
right.
we're kind of limited. For a while, we were happy just to have T-Mobile because it's so shoddy. You get like dial-up network out here, but then we saw the Spectrum trucks coming in and them rolling out cable. And my husband every day, I was like, "Stop creeping on them workers. Leave them alone. When we'll get the flyer when we get the flyer."
Hey man, having fast connection, man. That's what life is about now, man.
And here's the thing. Remember when the connection was when we thought DSL was fast because we always used to like wait for a long time for something to come in. It would be like literally come in like 1, 2
bit at a time.
Yeah, but when DSL we was all excited.
Yeah.
But then what was it? I forgot what came after DSL.
You had it was cable.
It wasn't cable. Cable came.
No.
I don't think it was cable. It was
DSL is what? Digital satellite?
No. It was
Isn't that a delivery service?
I forgot what it stands for.
It's something link.
Yeah.
Not the dial-up satellite link.
It was a digital secure link.
Digital secure link.
Yeah, because the link it was secure.
Digital subscriber link.
Digital subscriber link.
Because you subscribe for that line. I remember that.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, I studied that when I transferred over to IT and Air Force, but that was 21 years ago, man.
News you can use.
I remember my dad calling the house and be like, "I've been trying to get through for a long time. Are y'all on the internet? Y'all must be on the internet."
I remember that. You had to be like, "Hey, nobody got to get on the phone, right?
Nobody get on the phone, right?"
About to download some of this illegal music. I mean,
about to download that new 50 Cent.
That new 50 Cent.
And you turn around and get Soldier Boy.
Hey, you.
Yeah. Crank that Superman.
Hey, he was the first that ever did it. Hey, shout out to Big Draco, man. Big Draco.
Yeah,
the Big Draco right there, man.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of 50 Cent, we not downloading 50 Cent songs off of LimeWire no more, man. What's happening with 50 Cent these days, man?
Man, 50 Cent, he is making some power moves. Okay, so all right.
Literally? Was that hold on?
Yeah.
There's layers to that. Wait a minute. You said 50 Cent is making power moves.
Power moves.
There's layers to that.
Okay, so let's peel back the onion, right?
Peel back that onion.
So we know 50 Cent has a show called Power, right? But also, you know what I'm saying? He's making moves, but still in the media and entertainment section. So next March launches. Next March will be the new Street Fighter movie, the reboot Street Fighter movie.
Snap.
I believe it's 1993 or 96 when the original Street Fighter movie came out.
I remember that.
Yeah, everybody did, man. Street Fighter is like a staple when it came to fighting games. Even though Street Fighter was not the first fighting game that came out, it was the most impactful Street Fighter. I mean, the most impactful fighting game came out.
Yeah.
And 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, being a genius marketing man he found a way to be part of this how would you say, conglomerate of a history of fighting games.
Dude, that's crazy.
And he's going to be playing the character Balrog.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that, man. I can't wait to see that.
That was the boxer, right?
That was the boxer. So
they should have got Tyson. Man, they should have got Tyson.
Damn, Tyson would have been dope.
Yeah.
Hey,
anyway,
but
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Tyson would have been a good pick. However, Tyson is older. And you know what I'm saying? Supposedly 50 Cent will be doing his own moves in this movie.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of epic. 50 Cent though, he up there too now. Don't slip.
Hey, yeah.
He's
49,
49,
right?
He's in good shape. In good shape.
He in good shape.
Oh, so he's 49 cent, not 50 cent.
He almost really 50.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, but here's the thing. He's not the only star in the movie.
Who else we got? Who else we got?
Jason Momoa.
Okay, who's he playing?
Blanca. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
he's playing Blanca.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Blanca doesn't really talk, man. Jason Momoa is a talker.
Yeah, but he's gonna be like, "Whoa," right? But then we gonna have you. We also gonna have one of the game favorites that I love to play the game with, Akuma.
Ooh, was that dude?
Real talk. That's that. Every time I played, that was my character. I learned all of his moves. So when I took your butt out, I was like, "Wait a second, up, down, left, right, trigger, trigger."
Yo,
no, they're
that was the moment right there.
So this I'm expecting to be one of those video game movies that really did do well, because we saw the Mortal Kombat movie that they rebooted 2 years ago, right?
I liked it. That
movie was amazing.
I liked it.
It was better than the original Mortal Kombat that they first came out, the very first Mortal Kombat.
Oh, the graphics were way better.
Kombat 2, the one that had, I mean, I think the soundtrack was better on the first one.
Soundtrack was dope, yeah.
But the second one actually
Mortal Kombat,
right? But all in all, it's like, you know what I'm saying? I think the thing about it is when you grow up and you're a fan of something, but then you decide to be able to, you know, have a voice. Like some people grow up and become, you know, they play video games and they end up becoming engineers, right?
Yeah.
They want to recreate their old childhood game. Like if I could recreate Pac-Man, okay, like recreate Pac-Man to the way that I want to do it, I think only 80 babies and 90 babies will like it. But you know what I'm saying? Then you know what I'm saying? Nah, Pac-Man be a pimp. He would have the pellets and the ghosts be running from him all the time.
Right.
Pac-Man, I'll be like, look here, go ahead. I'll be
my pellets.
Go get my cherries.
Exactly.
He said, "You don't want this smoke."
Running through walls. You know what I'm saying? When you lose that power, and ghosts come up on
you. Hey, speaking, you were talking about Mortal Kombat, man. That you do, for those that don't know, that's where this came from. Hey,
Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's what's up though. Hey, I'm looking out for that. Huge 50 Cent fan, huge Street Fighter fan, like you said, man.
Yeah.
Remember the days when we were young. You were young. I know for you youngsters out there, they like, look at these ancient people. Go ahead, Unc. Unc about to go ahead. Remember when we used to go to the liquor store or the corner store for the Street Fighter tournaments, and you would have your quarters and put them up there to let people know, hey, I got next. That's
Yep.
my quarter. Right? I got next.
Yep.
Gmo, I heard you say youngsters, but I was thinking wangster.
Wangsters, hey,
Oh,
50
50
Cent tie-in. I see
yeah,
that.
50 Cent. I got
Your girl knows a little 50 Cent. I'm just saying. All right.
Hey,
He's very talented. Mr. Curtis Jackson is a talented rapper.
you. Yeah, very.
I
talented.
avoided those lines, man, at the Street Fighter. In fact, they still have like an arcade center for like adults in like the art district over here in Los Angeles. And there are like, and they like serve alcohol and everything. It's a really dope spot. But there are still grown people who are standing in line waiting to get down on the Street Fighter, putting their quarters up. You know, nothing's changed in 25 years.
That's what's up, man.
Let me
You just got to go a little ways for it, you know.
Though it's something about the competition, though, man, because you always would think you're the best person, and then you'll be looking at the guy who's winning, and you be like, I could beat them, and then when you get on the six, and if you win, you talk a gang of mess. You know what I'm saying?
And you get the next round for free, right? Because the other dude got popped a quarter in, he's still playing.
Oh, you right. That's because you keep playing off. I didn't even think about that. Damn.
Yeah, I was a Mortal Kombat guy. Like I was better at Mortal Kombat than Street Fighter, but I was Street Fighter all day. Ryu or Ken or Dawson, you know, with the fireballs and the long arms, man, and that leg. You know,
we got a nice few folks that just jumped in on Instagram. So my question for y'all on Instagram: who was your main character that you would play with when you played Street Fighter back in the day?
Oh.
As they answer, I want the group, man. Starting with Bobby, man. Who was your character that you used when you played Street Fighter? If you played Street Fighter,
no, I did. That's what I was saying. I always used Akuma.
Oh, you did say that. You did say that.
Yeah.
You did say
and
that.
then my second one was Ryu.
Ooh. Nice. Oh, you can.
You can.
Hey, that birthed the classic punchline from Ray's Lady of Ray's MCs like, you can.
That was jam back then.
Who was your character, Dr. Poole?
Man, it was a mix-up, either Dawson or Chun-Li, man. Normally Dawson, you know, but if somebody picked them, I'd pick Chun-Li, you know. I tried to avoid Ryu and Ken because everybody picks Ryu and Ken or Blanca, you know, so I'm gonna pick something different.
Yeah. What about you, Corey?
My two characters, Ryu and Guile. And Guile, a lot of people slept on Guile because you have to hold the control back 2 seconds before it to do the Sonic Boom. I found this out even at this video game store in Hawthorne called Pound Penny, right there on Prairie. And then we would go and play. And I saw this guy. I stopped looking at the screen. I started looking at his joystick. So when he was up in the air, he'll already have the back button, the back controller holding down for 2 seconds while he doing like a kick. And then when he hit the guy with the kick, he'd just go poof. So he'll get the combo, and then 2 hits later, I'm dizzy. So I'm like, and then that was it. I started looking at the people who really knew how to play. I started looking at their joystick instead of looking at their game, and that's what got me because I play contests and competitions. Blockbuster had one over there back in the day when Blockbuster was out there, and I got that in it.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was pretty dope with Guile and Ryu, but I always had to configure my buttons when we had to play on the Nintendo.
Same.
No, switching the buttons.
All of that all the time.
Well, who was yours though, guy?
My main go-to was Chun-Li. Chun-Li was mine. Dude, I was a huge Chun-Li fan, man, because I learned how to do all her counter moves for like everyone else's special moves. So
check that bounce off too, man. That wall bounce.
The wall bounce is it.
I would either play with her, or when they came out with the championship edition, and you could play with Bison, I'll play with M. Bison.
Oh,
it would be one of those two.
Yeah. I was Saget.
Yeah.
As soon as Saget came into play, I was like, all right, Saget replace Dawson right away. You know, you could go higher, you could go low, but that Tiger uppercut all day long, man, all day.
Yeah, man. Who's playing him? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
Saget.
They got to bring in a UFC fighter.
Definitely. Definitely. But I don't think. Well, all I know is they trying to build the hype around the movie right now because it's supposed to be released March 2026.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be somebody. I mean, especially it got to be somebody famous because you got Jason Momoa, you got 50 Cent, you got Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns? Wait, I didn't know Roman Reigns.
I'm not
What?
with that.
You didn't hear me say it? I said
Nah, Reigns. Who is he
Roman
playing,
Reigns
man?
is playing Akuma.
Yeah. Number one, baby. Acknowledge him.
Hey,
Acknowledge him. Wow.
Guile's being played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, he's coming back. He wasn't he the first one?
Bison was playing Raul Julia.
Okay.
Bison's being played by
Dude, Jean-Claude Van Damme. He played the first Guile in the first movie, I think. I feel like he played that role.
Okay, I know. I know who Roman Reigns is. I didn't know.
In wrestling, WWE.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Rock. If anything, I can't see them picking The Rock as Sagat because he's not tall enough. Sagat is tall.
He's tall. He's supposed to be tall. What up?
Zangief. Oh, okay. So Sagat is playing by Wes Studi. I don't know who that is. And it says Grand Bush is gonna be Balrog, but no, that looks like 50 Cent.
That could be the older one.
Yeah, maybe. No.
Do we know what the budget is for this movie?
Well,
good question.
Well, it was under Sony at first. So it's
cheaper than Snow White?
Huh?
Is it cheaper? Is it gonna be cheaper to make than Snow White?
I don't know. I doubt it.
Sorry.
You got to think about 50 Cent, his movies. I mean, in order have you guys noticed budgets for film are usually taken up for more of the actors than it is for the filming?
No. No.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed that.
Cause okay, so what's his name? 50 Cent, I think he needs at least 20 million per movie.
Oh, he's hit that status?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When he did Expendables 4, he was like 20 million and I'm in it. Cause he doesn't just bring him, he bring us.
Good point.
You feel what I'm saying?
I'm supporting it.
If they said Bobby Lashley was to play Tyson, I wouldn't watch it. I mean,
he hurts people though, man.
Yeah, but ask Geronimo, do he know who Bobby Lashley is?
I have no idea who you just said.
That's why you get 50 Cent.
I know who Bobby Lopez is.
Hey, Bobby Lashley ain't no Roman Reigns.
Oh, I know. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So 50 Cent.
I acknowledge my tribal chief.
Hey.
Okay. All right. I'm not caught up on as much wrestling, but I know what that means.
So you was talking about how 50 was making all these power moves and stuff, right? Like, I would imagine he's mastered the art of networking. How powerful is networking when it comes to business, Dr. Poole?
Oh, it's extremely, extremely important and powerful, man. I mean, if it wasn't the number one goal for your business, you need to reassess your plan, you know.
Well said.
Good point.
Can you give me like an example of something? Is there something in particular?
As far as building relationships, how important is networking when it comes to building relationships?
Very important. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 10.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, because you're looking to get long-term investment in someone. The longer that someone's willing to support you and your ideas, the further off that you can get. So if you are able to have a large group of people who are going to back you and support you in something, it's obviously better than having a small amount of people, right? Like if you have maybe 2 or 3 people though who are super dedicated to the cause and are willing to invest as much time and energy into moving something along as possible, you can do that. But you definitely want to try and have multiple people to expand. And in the sales field, it's really cool for the businesses because you always have to build a team and incorporate other people into your goal. But if you could get them to a point to where they could start creating their own stuff, it'll create a residual, you know. So you could build small and be small and strong, but it will be better if you expand. Does that help?
Yeah, I think to finish on, I think we can actually go a little bit deeper and say that networking is the key to success because it's not just about building relationships, it's building consistency with the people that you work with. If I do a job for somebody, they know I'm gonna come through with them. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Man, you did a bang up job over here. I'm gonna recommend you over here because you did so good." And that means more. When somebody says, "Hey, listen, I've got somebody I can trust on this job to take care of what you need. You need to call this person." Then all of a sudden you get a job and you do a great job for that person. Sure enough, you showed up. You were there on time with the correct tools, with the correct equipment to get that job done in a great amount of time. Then that leads to another job. And so all you've done is build relationships and build trust with other people. And I think that's going to be a key part to making sure that your business continues being successful and that those residuals will end up coming in consistently.
Good point. Good point. I mean, because tying it into what we was talking about with 50, right? Making these power moves. He did what both of y'all said, right? Like he built his team because success is a team sport, right? But then he also delivered. We remember back when stars didn't want to work with 50 and they didn't want to give him what he wanted. What do you remember what happened? What he did, Corey?
He went back to the drawing board. He even hired a
No. That's not what he did. What he did was he told all of us, "Hey, cancel your Star subscription." Remember that?
Oh, you talking about that?
Yeah. When they wouldn't negotiate the way he wanted to, he was like, "Hey, man, I need all of y'all to cancel your Star subscription." I know I did it, and there was enough people around that did it to where they were like, "Oh, hold up, wait a minute. I guess we didn't realize how you were keeping our network afloat." Right.
Yeah.
So they went back to the negotiating table. To your point, right? As far as having that team and then having that loyalty that you were saying, he's been delivering good quality art to us for so long, right? And he has such a huge team that was able to help him spread that message. Dude, he forced stars to come back and be like, "Whoa, hold on. We didn't know we were gonna lose all those subscribers."
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I believe he did 50 Cent Action Network, because of the fact that him networking with Sly Stallone. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Sly Stallone, I believe I saw it in an interview or I read it in a magazine where he was saying, like, by him positioning himself around the right type of people, he got access to information he didn't have. And that's what's key about networking.
Say that again. Hold on. Say that again. That's a major point right there.
He had access to information that he didn't have. And information is very, very important when doing business, because those who have already paved the way for either their community or their niche per se, they still know, the gatekeepers, and they can be like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? This is what you should be doing." It's no coincidence 50 Cent invested in Louisiana. Why? Tyler Perry knows all the tax codes in every places where to film, and him and Tyler Perry have a great relationship. So he was like, "Hey, Tyler, I want to do some things this way, boom, boom, boom." And 50 Cent was like, Tyler Perry was, you know what I'm saying? I guess Tyler Perry looked at 50 Cent's business model, and 50 Cent, as long as we knew the name 50 Cent, that man's been a genius when he was making music.
Yeah.
When he went into television. I read his book, Get Rich, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
Yeah.
I read that book, and that book showed me a different way of how to do business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, he gives you this persona that make you think he's this gangster, but while everybody around him in the club drinking drinking alcohol, he's literally drinking water that was poured out of an alcohol bottle, poured into, and he leaves the club an hour afterwards. He just made sure the right people see him, network marketing, and then he leaves to go do his routine. You can't tell me that's not a smart businessman.
That's smart. That's super smart. That's a great book, by the way, man. That's a great book. And you know what? You gave me something to use from that. So shout out to networking, right? So thank you, Bobby and Dr. Poole, for explaining how important that is for growing your business, growing your professional life, right? Growing whatever you want to grow, because it's hard to do it as an island, man. You cannot live on an island and then you won't be able to grow something. But I want to take something you said, that book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
Yeah.
There was something he said in there that stuck with me, man. He was talking about what he went through in life, and people were asking, man, how did you get through all that? You lost your mom and stuff at a young age, whatever. And he was like, I forget who he said taught it to him, but he said that he learned early on that like depression was a luxury. He was like, where I'm from, depression is a luxury. So it's like whatever's going on, they couldn't afford to be depressed. Basically, is what he was saying.
Yeah, gotta keep moving.
Got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Got to keep moving. And that's a little transition to the next point, man. For our veteran topic, I want to talk about, man, how veterans handle loss, right? I wasn't here last week because I was going through some things, man. Had to take a break and chill with the family, man. So the week before that, I was out of town, right? I did the show from my hotel and stuff like that. So what a lot of people don't know is as soon as I got to Tampa, Florida, I found out my brother passed away. I kind of ignored it for a little bit because I just got to Tampa, right? And I actually delayed the news because I got a 911 text and I knew it was something, but I had just got there. Still needed to at least get what I needed going. And I waited to find out because I knew it was something bad, but I waited to find out till later. So I at least got the first day out of the way, right? And when I found out, it was actually right before we did our show. But
wow,
I don't think anyone could actually tell. And
I saw it, but I saw something. I'm like, he not his normal self, but I was like, maybe it's the plane ride, maybe you just getting into the weather or where he was. But I was like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I get it.
He was kind of sniffling a lot.
Say what?
It looked like you were kind of like doing this a lot. Like you were kind of like
well, I mean, I got bad allergies, so
all right.
No,
I watched the show back.
It was a combination. It was a combination of that on my mind, and I was tired, man. That trip, it wore me out, man. So, but it took me a while to allow myself to process that, man, because I actually incorporated some training that we get in the military, right? I don't know if the Army did this or how they did it, but in the Air Force, they gave us this training called resiliency training. So it was a lot of training that taught you how to handle like stressors in life, disappointment, tragedy, because a lot of times, man, when you're active duty, you find out stuff like that, and you may be way across the world, you know what I'm saying, on a deployment. You may be in a different state, maybe on like leadership training, like so many different things, right? For example, when my daughter was born, my first daughter, I was in Airman Leadership School. That's the school we go to, Bobby, before you become an NCO.
Once we go to Warrior Leadership School. Warrior Leadership Course, WLC.
So my baby was born right in the middle of that. They let me take some time off to go see the baby, and I had to go right back to the training. You know what I'm saying? Well, most people may not be able to deal with that, but that's the type of skill we just had to learn, right? So a couple of the things that like stuck with me that I remember from resilience training was I learned about stressors, right? To where oftentimes that causes people, you know, mental stress, whatever, right? There's typically a stressor or stressors that just pile up and then eventually make people break, right? And in the training, it taught you how to kind of compartmentalize stressors. So that way you can know how to kind of box it up, put it to the side, focus on the mission, not get shot, right? Because if you're distracted in the field and there's bullets flying, that's not going to help you, right? So you have to be able to compartmentalize the stressors, put them away, and deal with them when you can, right? So when I was there, I was already dealing with the stress of being separated from my family. So I already had that. I had the other news that came out, and I was like, well, I'm not going to try to fight 3 battles. 1, the mission of why I was traveling, right? 2, being separated from my family. And then 3, just finding out I lost a family member, my brother, right? So I went, the training kicked in. I actually compartmentalized that stressor and was like, look, I'm by myself. There's no way I'm going to try to deal with this and start the mourning process without support. It's just me. Right?
And it's smart. It's smart.
I boxed that away and was just like, let me deal with the stressor of being away from my family. and I spent most of the time just talking, checking in with them in between the work, stuff like that. And then when I finally came home and I had family around me, that's when I was willing to open up that other box, right? To start dealing with that other stressor. Because now I got family, everybody around, right?
Around you.
So it was a lot better for me to try to start processing that with the support that I get here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I would have been able to deal with it like that without that training, to be honest. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's any civilian counterpart in the private sector that teaches anything like that. And I'll open that up for the civilians that never served. I don't know.
Donald, you can go ahead and attack it if you want. I can go after you.
No, I don't know how to attack that at all, man.
In the Army, we have something called MRT, which is Master Resilience Training, and you have to be MRT certified in order to teach soldiers how to deal with those stressors when they come up. Geronimo said it pretty perfect about how to compartmentalize things so that you can get the mission done. And I know one of the classes we talked about oftentimes was called Hunt the Good Stuff. And Hunt the Good Stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
in the midst of things happening. You know, for those who haven't served, your soldiers or your airmen or what have you, your military members that are with you in arms, they become your family. They become your family away from family, and you it sounds bad, but you trauma bond. You bond over trauma together.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks. You're pretty much in the shit together, but you're in it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're sucking it together. And creates really good relationships. Of course, some of it's out of trauma, but aside from that, you're hunting the good stuff. You're finding the positive in all the negative.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. And that's what I had to do. I latched on to the mission, right? Just the job I had to do and just checking in with my family as a way to focus on the good, right? And hunt the good. And that's what got me through being away, by finding news like that, right? Because we've been deployed, right? There's been plenty of deployments. You find out bad news, right? And you got to do that. Like, if you don't hunt the good when you're deployed and you get bad news from home, you will lose it. Am I right, Bobby?
This is why we have Suicide Watch.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm very serious. There's people who just don't. They don't. Just receiving bad news just doesn't gets you in a bad mental spot, and they don't handle it well. That's the word I was looking for. They just don't. Right. They don't handle it well, and so they end up doing stupid stuff or saying stupid things, and they could potentially put themselves or somebody else in harm's way, and so end up having to have a real battle buddy.
Yeah.
And watching that soldier or that airman. I don't know if y'all had that. I'm sure y'all had Suicide Watch too.
Oh yeah. So I mean, what the Army calls battle buddy, we call wingman, airman. You know, where you'll have a wingman or a battle buddy that will really be there to like look out for you. And that's pretty common especially when we're overseas. So yeah, what's up?
Man, I just want to say that I knew Derek. I remember your little brother from when I was younger, man. And he was, he was a good kid, man. I have good memories of him, and I'm sorry for your loss, bro. And it's sad for me to know that he's gone too, man. Because as a kid, he seemed like he was a good kid who had a bright future ahead of him.
Great kid. Matter of fact, you were with me, man. I used to go get him from daycare and drop him off.
Yeah,
you were with me a lot of those times, man.
I would crash at your house, bro, and he would always be being an asshole, a little jerk sometimes, like little Derek, man, a little pain in the butt, but
yeah, man.
Great kid, man.
What are little brothers and sisters for, man?
That's what they're there for, man. But he used to come with us all kind of places, man. He used to flirt with the older girls and stuff like that, man. We taught him right. But and like what you just did, man, is kind of what Bobby was talking about. We're hunting the good. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people were probably surprised by how well I took it. But it's hunting the good, man. I mean, it's going back to what I opened up with. Is depression is a luxury. You know what I mean? I don't have the luxury of being stuck in a dump being depressed, man. I got kids, man.
Yeah.
And we got things that we got to build. Am I sad? Most definitely.
Right.
But like I think about those times that Dr. Poole was talking about, and they give me light, man. And there's another one, hunting the good, right? So y'all seen my pit bulls, right? My dogs.
Yeah.
I actually have the older one because of him. When he was staying with me when I was stationed in California, long story short, he was the one that kind of like drove me to get that dog. You know what I mean? I ain't even want it. I was like, I had that little like impression about pit bull. Like, man, I don't know about having a pit bull, man. Best dog I ever had, man.
I
So
was about to say they're good dogs.
good dogs. Good
And I
dogs.
like your doggies. Your doggos
Yeah.
are real sweet.
But I only have her because of him. So that's I'm hunting the good, and so I got another dog, right? The younger puppy, a few years. She's just 3, about to go on 4. She trained him, and while I was gone, the family bought another little Chihuahua. But these 2 dogs trained him, so like that's kind of like a good that I hunted that I'm gonna always be able to latch on to. And I look at them, I'm like, it's something that I got because of him. So that's just something that I would rather focus on the good. You know what I mean? And just latch on to those good memories, man. And again, that's incorporating a lot of the training that I got while I was on active duty, man, that helped me carry through that. So just wanted to share that, man. As far as veterans, I know a lot of veterans out there, they feel me on that, man, because I got some love from them online, man, and they were sharing stuff, man, just from different families, aunties, grandmas. Just life be life, and man, you can't control when life lies, but you can control how you respond to it, man.
Yeah.
The military does good about training us not just to handle military stuff, because we often take our military training and we apply it daily into civilian life all the time. When we talk about watching your 10 and 2, being hyper vigilant, keeping your head on a swivel and stuff. When I'm walking in parking lots, I have a thing about parking lots for some reason. I'm waiting for somebody to roll up on me, and I'm like, I wish you would. I don't know what it is, and I don't know, maybe it's just me. But because of my girls, I always got to be like, let me catch you looking stupid. Just let me. Maybe it's just me, but some of the stuff that I learned in the military, I do daily, and I don't even realize it because it's just become second nature. And so learning how to identify those stressors, how to deal with them, is good in and out of uniform, you know.
Yeah, no, it helps a lot, man, and so in so many different aspects, not just on how to handle loss, but the stress training we get, it helps a lot, man. But I will say this, man, just to really show love to my brother, man. He was a champion in my heart. Donald knew him. Corey, I think you got to be around.
I met him around the time when you were doing your shows.
Okay, so you met him when he was older.
Yeah. He had an afro.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Derek.
He was a champion, man. So rest in peace to my little bro, man. I'll be going home to send him back home. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but speaking of champions, man.
Oh,
I think we're gonna talk about champions for the millennial moment, huh?
Okay.
Oh, I think so, man. I think so. I mean, let's take like it's almost like a millennial flashback, if you will, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So anybody who follows basketball knows that the NBA Finals ended last week, and we got new NBA Finals winners, the Oklahoma City Thunders, and Barry Gilchrist Alexander, Chet Holmgren, and a whole cast of other people were able to take down the Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton. And it was a Game 7 series. It was, I'm sure, pretty exciting. I myself did not catch it due to particular aspects. I don't really have cable anymore. Everything I do now is through streaming services. So sometimes watching live sporting games is limited to whatever is being broadcast over streaming services. So I miss out on a lot of things. But I play NBA games a lot, like NBA 2K25. I'm like all in since like 2019. So I'm very familiar with these teams, right? So these guys are very good players, right? And so I just wanted to kind of give a glimpse to their history a little bit, right? Because they do have some history. It is their second win. The first time they won was pretty much back in 1979. And
79.
So 79 is like when the millennial generation was first born, right? So if you're 79 years old and you're the OG millennial, these guys won the NBA finals right then and there for you, right? But they were called the Seattle Supersonics at the time, right? I don't know if you guys remember the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah.
I remember them at all.
I'm gonna make a slight correction. So the first year of millennial was 81.
Oh, is it?
But it's still a millennial moment because I remember the Supersonics. You know why I remember the Supersonics to this day?
Why is that?
Because Ice Cube said
I
the
was about
Lakers
to
beat
say.
the Supersonics.
Supersonics.
That's right. It was a good day, man. That was one of the best days. Whenever the Lakers beat the Supersonics was a good day for sure, man.
So, I did not know that OKC were the old Supersonics. I always wondered what happened to the. I follow sports, so
yeah.
I mean, I did not know that, man.
Yes, man. It was let's see. I did a little bit of history reporting on them, and I got the time of it was let's see, 2008. Here we go. Yeah, in 2008 they moved from Seattle to Oklahoma and changed their name from the Supersonics to the Oklahoma City Thunders. But before they did that, I'm sure y'all remember this name, Gary Payton.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who ever knows basketball knows the name Gary Payton.
Gary Payton is love.
Man, I'm telling you, this guy hasn't played basketball in at least 15 years. People still talking about Gary Payton being one of the best defenders of all times.
Didn't he have a shoe too? Didn't he?
I don't remember his shoe. If he did, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy Shaquille O'Neal's shoe either, though. To be fair, But yeah, they had a couple other players too, man. Vin Baker at the time, he was a big star, and they did battle against the Lakers hard during the 80s and through the 90s. Like those were always big money games. There was,
Supersonics, right?
Huh?
When they were the Supersonics?
Yes, absolutely, right. Man. And if you remember, Kobe Bryant, had an opportunity to play both with Gary Payton, but also against Gary Payton. And that was always a great matchup to see Gary Payton step up and try and really defend Kobe Bryant because he did a really good job. Feels like one of the best defenders defending Kobe Bryant. I got to give him props,
Okay.
But as good as they are, and as much defense.
Something for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Nike Air Zoom Flight, 1998. The glove.
He did.
These are the Nike and Gary Payton did a collab.
Oh, that's one of the kind that had the zippers, right?
Yeah. So if you want these, they are on StockX for 2,089 buckaroos.
Ooh.
I wouldn't buy them from StockX.
Ooh.
So you're gonna buy some? You're gonna buy some for Val?
Well, let me not knock them. Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you when I will buy some.
It's a matching pair for you and Val.
And I wear the same size shoes.
You and who wear the same size shoes?
Val and I wear the same size shoes. So when I buy something, man, I bought me a cute pair of Adidas one day. I came home, I said, "Sir, what are you doing?" He's all like, "What? Why are you wearing my shoes?" And he's like, "Oh, I thought they looked nice on me, but I didn't buy them for you. I bought them for me."
That's right.
He's like,
real quick, McDonald. I got a real question.
Yeah, what's up?
Who else was a star on that Seattle Supersonic team that you haven't brought out?
Douglas Prince.
That question, I got to answer another question because you was asking about how much did those Gary Paytons cost again?
Well, on StockX they were 2,000.
So I'll tell you what, I'll buy them once we get enough people to go ahead and click that like button and that subscribe button down there right there. Go ahead and click that subscribe button because once we go up, maybe we can monetize this thing, and I'll buy some of those Gary Paytons and give them away. Just go ahead to a random subscriber. Once we get monetized, y'all click that subscribe button down below. Click the like button.
I ain't giving away $2,000.
I'll give them away sneakers. So
you got to drop the horn on that.
Press that button.
But you know what? That's a good idea. How many podcasts do that when they get so many likes, subscribes, and comments?
All right, let's get back on track here, guys.
I'm just saying. Let's go.
All right, yeah. So, anyways, shoe brand, good shoe plug for sure. Buy the shoes if you could afford $2,000 for some Gary Payton shoes. Okay. But anyway,
click that like button and that subscribe button so this channel could get monetized.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna give it to them. Tell them you
got
to tell them.
So
go ahead, man.
If you do follow basketball, you remember when they did go to Oklahoma, they signed some of the big three, I guess you can say. They kind of So now, if you follow basketball over the last 15 years, you may have heard of like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, and
Never heard of
you
him.
might have even heard of
Nice.
Sixth Man of the Year, James Harden. This was like the squad that was like. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
No,
I
I
was,
say he's from Compton. James
is?
Harden from Compton.
Oh, is he? Yeah, I think Westbrook's from LA too somewhere.
Sure is. He the one who told me that they were going to Oklahoma.
nice.
Yeah.
Told you personally?
Personally, I didn't even know. He was in my store buying a sidekick.
Dude, he met everybody at that T-Mobile store, man.
Yeah. Let's get back to the Millennium Moment.
All right, here we go. Yeah, the squad was pretty dominant. Their biggest challenges during the time this was like during 2015-ish. So like LeBron James, everybody knew the big matchup was between Kevin Durant and LeBron James, and a lot of people were expecting, like me personally, I was expecting Oklahoma City Thunder to pull it out because they had such a dynamic squad at the time, and their only real competition during like the 2000 teens were like pretty much LeBron James and whatever team LeBron James was on, whether it was with Miami and Dwayne Wade or every team except for the Lakers, pretty much. But however, in 2025, the Thunder, aka the Supersonics, have finally brought home the championship. So congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunders in bringing it home. Again, big shout out to SGA. He's definitely a superstar. One thing I saw him do after they were winning the game, he went and got the Canadian flag, wrapped the Canadian flag around him, and then was like with the fans and whatnot. So it was really cool to see like this Canadian guy embracing the American fans and it being all cool and everything. There's not really a beef between Canada and America, y'all. It's all for a hype, But I heard some things. I was gonna give some stories about the Pacers too, like because y'all remember the Ron Artest incident with that whole fight thing in the stands and whatnot. But I did have a question that I wanted to ask, because one of the main questions that a lot of people are talking about is the amount of money that the finals made, because these are two small market teams. And a lot of people are saying that it would have been better for the NBA if they had two larger market teams. It would have brought more eyes and viewers and more money to watching it. But I thought it was a pretty good opportunity for some smaller market teams like Oklahoma, and Indiana, these smaller states, and have an opportunity to get the big time, like the Lakers and the Celtics and the Knicks, right? What do you guys?
The
what do you think about
Spurs.
that, Corey? Or the Spurs? There you go. Oh, San Antonio, right? What do you guys think? You think it's better for cheaper markets or better for more popular teams to be in the finals?
I preferred like this season. The reason why, nobody really expected. I mean, these teams, they were great players, right? And they were great. I wouldn't call them superstars, but they were stars, right? And sometimes you get tired of seeing a blowout in the NBA finals. You get tired of seeing a blowout when it comes to two names. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a Laker fan and I love LeBron James and the way he plays. But if you saw LeBron James play a team that nobody knows, that nobody really roots for, and they win the championship, blowing them out sweep, it's not really entertainment. It's not really sports to me. It's like a scrimmage game. This right here, you had two teams that had great players that not too many people that don't follow basketball knew of, like Tyrese Halliburton, right? I didn't know that dude was that nice. I didn't know he was that nice. SGA, I didn't know he was that nice.
Yeah.
But it gave me something to say, wow, they got players that really doing their thing that, 2 years ago wasn't an NBA All-Star player. You feel what I'm saying?
However, they both played for the Olympics. They both represented their country in the Olympics. Yeah. Even though Tyrese Halliburton was sitting on the bench for most of those games during the Olympics, I think that he was able to take that in and probably helped him get his team this far. He definitely was the leader, no doubt, of the Pacers and getting them there. But SGA has a team behind them. Like Chet Holmgren is a 6 center who knocks down that 3-pointer for sure.
I saw that.
It's wet, man. He's so wet.
So Donald, you were asking about how the financial aspect, right? Of
What do you think, Bobby?
Of two bigger teams being marketing. Honestly, it don't matter if you make it to the finals. It's because you went there on sheer talent. Who cares if you're part of the Lakers or not? If you got there, it's because it's a we sport, not a me sport, right?
Sure.
Teamwork is all about success, and whether or not you've got the Los Angeles Lakers behind you, or whether or not you're OKC Thunder, it doesn't matter. If you got there, it's because you blew out everybody else and you got to the top.
Yeah.
On sheer talent.
Yep.
And success with your teammates.
I think it's good for smaller markets because a lot of times small markets, they don't generate a lot of money. So when big events like this happen and they bring fans in, it generates a lot of money for their state and their cities. So it's like the Packers, right? And it's Wisconsin's thriving attraction is the Green Bay Packers, right?
Good point. Good point. I see your point. So I guess for if it's smaller market teams and it's bringing a whole bunch of consumers that aren't typically there, that's a good thing, right? I mean, because
it would be, right? I think so.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, man. Because if it's the Lakers, it's like, does LA really need that extra money? You know what I mean? Like they get it all the time in a continuous stream, right? That ain't going nowhere. California is the 4th largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
It'll be okay if they don't make it. But like you said, a smaller market team, dude, some people gonna have some good Christmases that year. You know?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
business will go up.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to Oklahoma?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, stationed at Fort Sill for a little bit.
Ooh, Fort Sill.
It's like
Fort Sill is a lot in Oklahoma.
They shut down after 10 o'clock at night. Everything is closed at 10 o'clock at night.
I've been to OKC too.
Yeah, when I went out there for a church conference 2 years ago, we got out of the conference at 10:15. Everything's closed. Drive-throughs closed. I'm like, this is nice. You know what I'm saying? In LA, you don't get that. I mean, it looks like 9 o'clock when it's 2 o'clock in the morning. A lot of businesses are still open. But I'm excited for Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Getting the chip. Hopefully they can run it back.
Hey, they could. It's possible.
Them being closed up might be a culture thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be LeBron James next year. I think he might be out. I think he might be out the door now.
I was waiting for that. So we got some comments about that on Instagram. So Creative Native is back.
Hey, what up, Native?
He said nobody wants to see LeBum in the finals anymore. And then he said LeBum choked against the Wolves. And then he also said when we were talking about the finals being in LA, he said, "Welcome to the NBA Finals in homeless capital of the world, Los Angeles."
There it is. 5th highest economy.
I love your brother.
I'm gonna say this. Okay?
I love you, Creative Native.
I'm gonna say this, Creative Native, as a LeBron James.
You almost said LeBum.
LeBum.
Okay. All right.
That was a new one. I never heard that.
As a Laker fan, I am not upset. I am not upset that the Lakers did not go all the way. As a LeBron James appreciative person, he makes the sport a lot more watchable. Because if you ever watch the game for 48 minutes, that you look and like, okay, this is boring. You do not want to go and spend your money to see a game that you're not going to enjoy. Tickets are high. Let's be honest. There's times like preseason tickets are even high. And when he doesn't play, people leave early. They just leave early because of the fact that there's no entertainment.
Well, we got Luka Doncic now, so that should be a show.
Man. Need to get in the gym.
He got in the gym, man. I seen some video updates. He's training over in his own country. He lost like 25 pounds. He's on a super workout regimen. He might be a beast.
So Creative Native, If you're gonna throw the bum in there, you gotta throw loose Luca, okay? Because let's be honest, Luca was not running up and down the court like these
Wait till
other.
next year.
Man.
Wait till
You know,
next year.
We got another comment from Creative Native, and I think it's a perfect time to transition to the next topic off of his comment. He said, if I want to see grown men crying all game and falling on the floor, I watch soccer.
That's your millennial moment, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the flop game.
Hey, speaking of crybabies, our next
yep.
topic, man, is a question. Are we causing an entitlement mentality within our children?
Yes. Ooh. Take LeBron James's flopping, for example. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
That's a good question.
Hold on.
Sorry.
It's like, why me?
Oh man, that was a good one. What? Start us off, Bobby.
Okay. So I think that we're gonna start this topic obviously like are we causing us as in our generation of millennials causing a sense of entitlement within the younger generations today? I think, and I catch myself doing it all the time. Geronimo, I know you do. Maybe not yet, Dr. Poole. Corey, I know you do it too. A lot of us want to give our kids things that we never had, right? And I know I do it. We struggled with having clothes growing up, with having food. Vacation was not in my vocabulary because that's not something we did. And so as I'm growing up, I'm like, man, I'm gonna work my ass off. I'm gonna make sure my kids have everything that I never had. But is that really helping them? Is it really helping them, or what are we doing in the moment when we're wanting to give our kids stuff that we didn't have? Maybe the fact that we didn't have stuff made us better human beings. Maybe that struggle, those challenges that we faced growing up are what made us better adults. But if we sit there and hand our children things that we didn't have growing up, hey baby, you want that new pair of Nikes? Don't worry about it. Mama's about to drop $250 on those. Not me. Some mamas, not me. I'm just letting you know.
Don't get them Gary Pagans.
We do that a lot. We want to give our kids things that we didn't have because we knew when we were kids we were missing out on something, and we don't want our babies to miss out on whatever that is. But I think what we can do to counteract that, rather than taking the things that we didn't have, let's look at maybe the people we didn't have in our lives. When we were growing up, we had a small family. And so our family, like my mom's family, was over in New Mexico. We didn't get to see them very much. So on the flip side, my mom was a drug addict when I was growing up. She wasn't around very much. So one of the things I found out that I can do is every day be present in my kids' lives. The best thing I could never do for them is not give them something, because they're not going to remember that we went and did this. They're going to remember that I was a part of that. They're not going to have to turn around and be like, oh yeah, mom couldn't make it up the stairs, or somebody had to pick her up, or we couldn't go here, we couldn't go there because, she had made bad decisions in life and it affected the rest of us. That's the best thing that you can do for your children, is realize the mistakes that were made that shouldn't have been made, and don't make those.
And don't make
Good point. Yeah, excellent point, man. I just had a moment with my 3-year-old during dinner time. She didn't want to eat. All she wanted was milk. And had to stand firm, man. You ain't getting no milk. You want some milk, you better eat some food. And it's a challenge, right? Like it's a face off. And that's how kids are. It's always been like that. It's a test of will, and you have to be willing to break that will. Our parents they didn't give a damn. They broke that will. Like, ask again, see what happens. Right?
See, now you make me feel bad, man. Now you're shaming me over here.
Let me say this though.
Different generation.
Gmo, you probably heard him say it. It's this guy called Myron Goldman, right? He says,
nice beard.
He said a past perceived value turns into a past perceived void. Meaning, like, It was a void in your past,
Ooh.
which you perceive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is a post perceived value. So now you see it as a value because you didn't have it in the past.
You didn't have it. Yeah.
Right. And that is a key for businesses, but also it's a key for family. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm present in my children's life, right? My pops was there, but he wasn't present based off of his medical condition. You know what I'm saying? My mom was there and she was sometime present, right? But she wasn't present as much as I would like her to be. However, I never wanted to be that person that can say that I'm present and my kids can be like, no, you're not. And then I have no reason to back it up. Part of that is I'm willing to make sacrifices.
Oh, good point.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you guys saw it on my stream. Like I sacrifice dreams to be able to, you know what I'm saying, do things that is unorthodox. Like I take my kids to school. I pick them up from school. I take my daughter to therapy. I pick her up at therapy. My wife is doing it in the summer now because, you know what I'm saying, I got a little, you know what I'm saying, leverage. But however, you're right, Bobby. Sometimes, like, if I think we're better the fact that we didn't get the things that we wanted when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not talking about like having my parent being present. More so, like I'll never forget my first time ever wearing a pair of Jordans was a friend of mine pair of Jordans that I borrowed from when I was in my first year of high school, and he let me wear them for like 2 or 3 days, and I gave them back to him willingly because I knew I couldn't afford to replace them if they got messed up. I kept them clean. I wore them to school, and then I wore them on a trip, and he was like, "You can keep them longer." And I was like, no. But what it did for me was it made me realize, like, if I want something like this, I knew my mother and my father couldn't be able to buy them. So it turned that past perceived void into post perceived value. And I went and bought them, and I got a job to do so. And then I just started realizing, like, look, you know, if you really want something out of this life, you really want something for yourself, go out and get it. Do what you gotta do and go and get it. Because and if you want another experience, can y'all see me? There you go.
Yeah, you good.
And if you want another experience, you know what I'm saying? You need to go ahead and do what you gotta do. Like I really wanted my kids to experience the things that I've done, like go on vacation. Like I took them with me to Hawaii for the first time I went to Hawaii, not just because I won a free trip, but I realized, well, since I won this trip, I can go ahead and take them and spend the money for them to go. So it was a win-win situation. So we experienced Hawaii together for the first time. My mother-in-law, I brought her along because she's never been. And she said that was one of her places she wanted to go. And she was watching the kids while me and wifey was doing the married thing, couple thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it worked out. And
so is that teaching them how to earn so that they don't get the entitlement? They're seeing the things that Pops is doing, right?
Right.
So that even though you have a portion of the vacation free, you had to pay for everyone else, right? Or was everyone covered?
No, I had to pay for them.
You had to pay. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's a good example of, hey, you see what Pops is doing, right? Because none of this is free. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm being gracious enough to do this for you. How do you take that and do what Bobby said and use that as a lesson to make sure they don't develop an entitlement? You know what I mean?
Right. And so what I did was I walked them through the steps. Like we were, when I was placing the order with the travel agent, I was just explaining to them, like, okay, it's going to cost this and this and this and this. But the thing about it is, it's not about, I kind of like shaved off about the value of how much it costs, but what it's going to bring. I brought up the fact that, look, I never got a chance to go to Hawaii with my family. This is our first time coming together. So when you and your children go to Hawaii, you can be able to say, you know what, my dad brought me here and did this. So sometimes I look at what is it going to do for my lineage, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I explained to him, like, don't expect that you can win this. You can go and earn this.
Yeah.
And it feels better when you earn it. Why? Because you can earn it over and over and over again. You know, I mean, I literally won The Price is Right the first time I went to the episode.
Now, that's dope. You got that video too. Make sure to check out Core ENT channel for that video.
Yeah.
I want to add to that. As far as like techniques we could use to you know, not cause entitlement with the kids. So got a teenage daughter. She's 16, and the way she asks for things is crazy. The way she asked, she was like, "Hey, do you want to give me a ride to my friend's house?" And I'm always hitting on her, no, because you gave me the option. The way asking like that, no, I don't want to take you to your friend's house. And I'm constantly working with her, because there is a sense of entitlement that came from other places. That's a whole episode right there.
Yeah. No, for real.
But the whole lesson in that is, dude, the world is not going to accommodate you. She got 2 years left before she got to start putting in rent, go to college, or go to the military, right? So
Yeah, that's key.
get her ready. Like, let's go. Because, hey, the day after that 18th birthday, she's getting a rent bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Hey. Hey, I totally agree with you on that, man. I think that's
I got
what's
nothing wrong
missing,
with
man. That's what's
Nothing
missing
wrong
a
with
little bit is the fact that, like, our generation kind of was like the last generation of parents saying, "Hey, you got to get out of the house when you're like 18, right?"
you
Like,
gotta go.
and now us as adults, like, we're letting kids stay with them until they're 30,
Yeah.
25.
Unless your child has a
Folks are
severe
50, they got
disability.
kids with them to 35 years old, still living at home with their parents, never own their own place, you know, like.
You're right. But
I
want to cap off the lesson, though. I want to cap off the lesson real quick. The lesson is there's a way to where you can almost get anything you want, right? It's just you gotta use the concepts of how to win friends and influence people, which I feel like all kids should read that book, right? Because there's some like just fundamental, just good stuff people need to learn. Manners, but you attract more flies with honey, right? It's the way you ask.
With vinegar.
The way you ask, right? Don't because asking, "Hey, do you want to take me there?" is vinegar. No, ew, I don't want that. No, I'm not taking you nowhere. But make me feel good about it. Like if there's any type of incentive you can offer, like, "Hey, you know what? I'll do the dishes tonight. If I can get a ride to my friend's house, can I get a ride to my friends?" Teaching her there's a way you can ask and make someone feel good about it, because people do like to help. It's a natural human instinct to help, but you have to ask in a way that makes it feel like they're helping versus that whole entitlement. "Oh, you want to take me, right?" Like, no.
Sometimes make them figure it out, right?
Kids
catch the bus, right? Get a job at 16 years old, and then you don't have to worry about me buying you stuff. You can buy your own stuff.
Yep, that too.
I used to catch the bus as a teenager, you know. It made me want a car.
Fine.
I was on the bus at 12.
I told my daughter, she's 16 now. I told her when I was 14, I was riding the bus all over the place. She's like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, it was just."
They got trains now. They don't even got to get on the bus. You know what I'm saying?
Trains? Not where we're at, brother. There's no trains over here.
Not there yet, here, man. We're not there yet.
We got
trains. I got you down on the train.
Yeah, right. You know, get on the green line.
Green line.
You know?
Yeah, but that's the good point you made, Dr. Poole, man. Like we were working jobs, riding bikes to jobs and buses.
Yeah,
you know,
14, man, 15.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember when all of us had our jobs as teenagers, man. We was, because I didn't want to ask my mom for nothing, so I went and got a job. So I remember them trips. We was going to TJ Maxx, Burlington Coat Factory. We had our own money from our own.
See, my mom didn't even have the money, so it's like I was either shopping at the cheap ass store at Target, or I had to get a job. Right? I didn't have lunch money. I had to bring lunch, or
that sense of entitlement will begin to go away once you begin to hold your children accountable and force them. Hey, look. The money that you just earned, you can go and buy your own clothes. Let's see how well you take care of them when you spend your own money. My money's not on the table anymore.
You want those Gucci slides? You want those Gucci slides? You pay for them.
Yeah.
You know,
go half and half, right? If you're a parent, incentivize them. Go half and half, right? All right, I'll tell you what. You get half, I'll cover the other half. You'll get you a car.
I'm not going.
My daughter got herself my 16-year-old got herself a little dog sitting job for a friend of ours. He paid her $50 a day. $50 a day. So she ended up with $350.
Nice.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, right? So she's like, Mom, I want to buy a new iPhone. I'm like, ma'am, have you looked at how much a new iPhone costs? Well, I really want this 16 Pro. You can want that all day long, sweetheart. You are not going to get that with
Go watch more
$300.
dogs.
So here's what we did. What's your budget? Well, I don't really want to spend over 300. Okay, let's go to Facebook Marketplace. Let's see what Facebook got.
Ooh,
So yeah, so she went from a 12 to a 14. She got herself a 14 Pro. She paid for it out of her own pocket, and she was with the quickness to want to buy a case, get a secondary screen protector, all this other stuff, because it made a difference because now she was paying for it.
And so she want to protect it.
She did want to protect it. And then we end up going to Target, and she's got her little shopping basket. She's like, yeah, about to give me this little makeup, this body wash. And then we get up to the register, and she starts putting stuff up there, and she starts counting it in her head. And she's like, and I'm like, what? There's a difference between a want and a need. And most of the stuff that you're looking at right now is a want. You don't need any of that stuff.
Yep.
She's like, ugh. She ended up putting 2 or 3 things back and only spending like $17 versus the $35. And I told her it means the weight of the money that you make yourself means a whole lot more versus expecting me to buy it for you. Doesn't mean I can or that I won't or that I'm not or that I'm being ugly or selfish, but I want you to realize the value in the things that you want and what's going to require you to work hard for those things. If I just hand it to you, you will always feel like you deserve it when you don't.
Yeah.
It's okay to have grown up with nothing because you know what? As an adult, I'm okay to not have nothing. I grew up with it. I know what it's like to be without. I don't want to be without it, but I already know what it's like. And that's okay.
Can I make one more comment? So like LeBron James, right? LeBron James and Bronny James, right? This is a great case of entitlement for children, right? Like LeBron James got his son to bypass everything and go to one of the best teams that you could go to. And he did it all because it was his son. I don't think Bronny Jr. is as great as he is made out to be. And what a great case of entitlement. This kid got to the NBA because of his dad, probably. Good percentage of the reason why he made it to the Lakers, for sure, you know?
I would like to debate that
on another show. All right. Go ahead. I don't want to take this over. I'm sorry.
Because I don't want the message to get lost. I think that is a good conversation for a different show, different segment. There's some value there, but I do kind of want to recap and share what I caught as far as are we causing an entitlement mentality within our children, but I also want to come with the solutions, right? Like some of the things that I took notes is holding kids accountable. Bobby, you said it, right? And I think collectively we've all said teaching them how to earn, teaching them, you want that iPhone 16 Pro? How many dogs do you need to babysit so you can go buy yourself an iPhone 16 Pro? You know what I mean? Like they need to learn how to earn. There you go, right? And then teaching them how to ask for what they want. Not demanding it, but teaching them the right way, having manners, and asking for what they want. They could probably get it if they ask it the right way. You know what I mean? That's what I got so far. Did I miss anything from what was discussed as far as, okay, what do we do to not let these kids grow up with entitlement issues?
It's okay to say no. It is okay.
It's okay to say no, or it's okay to be told no, or both?
No, it's okay to say no.
For them?
No, for you as a parent.
Okay, so we're telling the parents it's okay for them to say no to help make sure the kids don't grow up with entitlement.
Don't feel like just because you didn't have it, and even though you want them to have it, you want them to have it with the right mindset. You don't want them to have it with the idea that like, oh, mom didn't have this growing up, so she knows I want it badly, so she's just gonna give it to me.
Yeah.
No, ma'am, I am not, and I am okay to tell you no. I didn't have it, and it's okay that you didn't.
Good point, man. Good point. And you know what? I think this is a good tie-in for the last topic of the episode. But I think what it is, right? We've all kind of said it on. We didn't have, so we did everything we could, so we could have, and so our family could have, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a double-edged sword, right? Because on one hand, you give them the life you never had, right? But that is very dangerous. Because now we've removed a lot of struggle out of their life, right? So I think we all agree that what made us so great and made us have so much tenacity and drive was the struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But our kids don't necessarily have that because we made it. You know what I mean? So it's how do we teach them not to be entitled? And I think one of the things we can do, we have to inject some struggle in their lives so we can teach them how to deal and accept disappointment. What you think, Bobby?
Struggle builds resilience. I want my children to be resilient. So when disappointment happens in life, because it is going to happen and it's going to happen frequently, you want them to be able to deal with it in a manner mature for the age that they're having to accept it. I think one of the things we've probably all witnessed at the store is a child acting crazy because the parent's not giving them something that they want. You waited until you were in the public eye to tell that child no. When you and I both know behind closed doors, all you say is yes. And so now that child is hearing no, and they're like, "Excuse me?" And they're out here throwing
What do
a
you mean, no?
tantrum, making you look like a fool because based off of I don't mean to be that parent, but based off of how your children act in public tells me immediately how they're acting at home.
That's real.
It's
I'm
real.
gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I am so grateful. I have not had any of my children throw a tantrum like that in public because when I tell them right in their ear, if you want to take a walk to the restroom, let's take a walk. 'Cause I'm gonna let you know I ain't gonna about to hit you in front of these cameras, but I will whoop that butt
like
from
it.
left to right if you get out of
like
line. Here are the rules for going inside the store. We are not asking for nothing because right now we are not here for you. We are here for the home. We're here to grab a couple of groceries. I don't care about toys. Don't talk to me about it. And I know that sounds mean, but I'm just laying down of the boundary of what it is that we're there for. We are not here for you. Your birthday comes around a couple times a year. We've got Christmas. You've got other little times where we can spend a little money, but right now ain't for you. You will act right, and you will let me know obviously if something's wrong, but you will be acting right. How your children act in public, I think, reflects a lot of how our parenting is. It's crazy.
Agreed.
I'll see that entitlement too in some of these.
Agreed. And
teenagers.
you know what? I used to, when my older kids were younger, I used to get a lot of compliments everywhere we went. Oh man, your kids are so well behaved. I'm like, what you mean? That's what they supposed to be like. I would always be like, I mean, yeah, like, of course, but
that's what they're supposed to be.
That's what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I had an older lady, because I have a lot of kids. So I had an older lady tell me one day we were eating at Bill Miller's. Gee, I know you don't like Bill Miller's, but
no, I like Bill Miller.
I thought you didn't.
I never said I don't like Bill Miller.
Oh, okay, my bad. We eat it a lot in this household, y'all. We eat Bill's a lot. But I remember we were sitting at the restaurant. I had my 4 older ones, and we were all sitting at the table. And this older lady gets up and she goes, "Excuse me, dear. I just wanted to let you know that I think your children are very well behaved. I was worried when I saw y'all sit down that everybody was going to be super loud, but your children are well behaved." I'm like, They better be, because if not, I was about to fix it real quick.
Oh yeah.
Children running around the restaurant, especially with people walking with food, that is a big no-no.
To the bathroom right
Big
now.
no-no.
Dude, my
No,
mom.
I'm serious. Those are just restaurant etiquette. Teach your children not to run around. When we are here, there are servers walking with trays or other patrons walking around. The last thing you want is some kid bumping into you. And can you imagine knocking $80 to $100 worth of food all over the place because your kid didn't act right?
Yeah, I don't like that. Corey, how do you teach your children how to accept disappointment?
Just let them know that you're not going to always get your way. And these are one of the times that you're not going to get your way. Yeah. And then let them know, like, there's going to be some times that it's going to work in your favor, but not everything. And when it doesn't work in their favor, I let them know. Remember when I told you some things are not going to go according to the way you want it. Mm-hmm. Just understand that, because in the past it may have. You're not going to get everything your way. If that's the case, then you'll be spoiled as a can of milk, and we don't do that. You know how back in the day people be like, "You riding and you spoiled."
Yep.
No.
Yep.
And my kids, and I've gotten that a lot probably as well. People came up to me like, "Your kids are so well behaved," and I just say thank you, because of the fact that I know what I'm doing. What me and Toya knows what we're doing with our children. Mm-hmm. We're raising them right.
Shout out to Toya.
Shout out to her. That's my woman. My
Hold it
woman.
down. Hold it down.
But yeah, I mean,
what's up?
you know, we've been out to eat, and literally, we went to a restaurant where the not even the table on the other side of the room, the table next to us had kids acting up, and I looked at my kids, and I'm like, hey, don't let that energy bounce on you. You know that. And then the grandma at that table left, when all her kids left with their grandkids, she came back. She said, "Your kids are so well behaved. I wish our kids would have acted just like yours did." And I was just like, "Thank you," because of the fact that we put in work with our kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We sit down and have these conversations. We build relationships. We build communication, lines of communication in our household. I don't want my kids to ever feel like they can't talk to me. So whenever I do tell them to do something, they understand it's not just law. There's a reason behind it.
Yeah, that's good. You know what? Good point. Good point. That's something that I think the generations that raised us did not do. Like they never gave us the why. They would just say, do it because I said do it. I mean, we did it.
We did it
because you said do it, but I never understood the why. You know what I mean? And I think that helps both topics, right? Helping dealing with entitlement and dealing with disappointment is explaining the why. That was something that I learned that my parents did not do, that I started doing for my kids. Well, I would explain the why. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about disappointment. Let's say one of my older kids got bad grades. Well, I'm gonna explain the why. Well, were you studying? No. What were you doing? Hanging out with my friends? Well, that's why you got a bad grade.
That's
you know
why.
Simple. Like that's how this thing works. If you want to be successful in school, you gotta work, which is a translation to you want to be successful in life, you have to work, that's an early way to give them a parallel on, look, man, if you slacking here because of your work ethic, you're gonna have a life that's slacking too. If you got bad work ethic, just like your school career, you know what I mean? We gotta tell them the why. We cannot hide from the truth, man. Tell them the truth.
The boomer generation that would always say because I said so, they were the ones who raised us, because when we saw because I said so and we end up doing something anyway, we always heard, what was the phrase? You don't believe fat meat's greasy, right? That was a phrase that we was told.
I never heard that either.
So you don't believe fat meat's greasy, so then you can FAFO. You know what I'm saying? And when you FAFO, I'm like, I told you so.
Yep. So what I was used to hearing was a hard head make for a soft ass. That's what I know. I was taught that. I got a lot of whoopings because I wasn't listening. So.
That's the same thing.
Still use that phrase. Still use that phrase. But no, you don't. I think Corey, you kind of said it
real quick. What for because he's been real quiet. I think because he doesn't have any biological children, he think he's safe. But you have become a male mentor and role model for some youngins recently. What can you add to the conversation as far as like things we could do to teach these youngins how to accept disappointment?
Allow them to see you fail and the way that you respond to your own failures in life. And if they're able to see an example of someone who's able to handle failure themselves, they'll have something to actually visually learn from. Otherwise, I think you need to have some type of role model who can do exactly like you said, Geronimo. That is, teach them the why. Like, if there's anything that I'm good at, it's being able to tell people what the consequences of their actions are going to be. So even though I might not be able to give them the best advice that would help propel them into the future, I could give them the advice of the bad side of that coin. This is what's going to happen if you continue on this trail of not getting educated. You're going to need to either find a fallback option, a trade school or something else, because not everybody's an educational person. Some people like myself, I used school to evolve socially. I developed great social skills that allowed me to be the person that I am today. But I only liked school because I needed it to be in the track team. I could care less about learning in school, you know? education wasn't important to me. And
Yeah.
because I didn't have anybody guiding me, I went through a lot of part-time jobs, getting paid minimum wage for a very long time until I eventually learned that I need to choose a career over a job. And I could have probably avoided that had I taken schooling more seriously. But yeah, what can we teach kids from our own failures would be the best thing that I could add to the conversation.
Like that. I like that. That was good. See, look at that. You ready, Poppy? Look at that. You look at that. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. All these graves of wisdom hairs right here, right?
God, that was
That's
Each
good.
one of these is a
though.
mistake in the world.
Yeah.
How do we handle disappointment as adults? Are we over there throwing tantrums, cussing somebody out, getting pissed off, and expecting our children not to do similar things?
Yeah.
But how are
Point.
we dealing
Good.
with it when
Excellent.
somebody tells me no? And drama, man, you said that so perfectly about how depression is a luxury.
No,
We
that
didn't
came,
have like,
that came from 50 Cent. I can't take credit.
oh okay, yeah, but still though, like just how we ain't got time to sit back and feel sorry for ourselves.
Depression is a
We
luxury.
just don't. You know what? Things are gonna happen. Life's constantly gonna throw boulders at
Yup.
you, and you're sitting there having to
Yup.
duck and dodge, trying to figure it out. And every once in a while, one of them's gonna hit you. But how you deal with that, how you bounce back from what that looks like, dictates, I think, how your children are gonna watch how you walk through life, and it's gonna end up building resilience with them.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
those struggles come, they're gonna be like, "It's okay, because I know I can get through this because I saw the people that I love and the people who love me, how they walked through this, and because they did it, I know I can do it too."
Yeah.
Good point. The main man with the game plan. Give us your take on that. I seen it bubbling up. Add to that.
How, as an adult, I deal with disappointment.
Being that example to teach your kids, because you got to show them
Yeah.
how you accept appointment and deal with it and bounce back from it.
There's been several times where like my kids know about my work, right? And then they'll ask me, "Hey, so daddy, they'll be looking like, how's your views going on my channel?" I'm like, "Oh, they're not getting to where I want it to be." Like,
Ooh,
so what should you do? I'm like, I just keep going. Don't let the disappointment, stop you. A setback is a setup for success, and just let them go from there.
Ooh, a setback is a setup for success. That's why we needed the game plan, sir. I like that. Hey,
Yeah.
no,
That's
good
the
point,
bomb.
man. Good point. Even, I mean, with this channel, right? We got slow growth. It is what it is. We keep it real, man. But that is the game. Like replace having a podcast with any other business or starting out any career from the bottom, man. You're gonna take them lickings, man. You gotta take them. You gotta take them, man.
Get them early. Like right now, you know what I'm saying? Right after you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, you're gonna see this channel is gonna grow. And when it grows, it's gonna grow organically. We're not the type of channel that we're gonna pay for bots and stuff. No, we're not doing that. Because of the fact that once we're at the place where we know that we can give away some Gary Paytons, we can throw away, throw away a couple jerseys and shirts and stuff from our catalog that you can click on the link and buy now. We're gonna make sure that we don't lose you guys, because why? We're gonna continue to give you news that you can use.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Now, yeah, and I think, doing what we're doing, I think is a good example. Showing our own kids, man. Look, man, we're not trying to get these easy wins overnight. It's gonna take time. Like you said, sometimes I look at the analytics, I'm like, oh, but you know what? Even if we just had one view, it's better than no views, right? Hunting the good, right? Going back to hunting the good, man. So showing them, hey, you know what? Sometimes I gotta take a knee. Sometimes I gotta take a knee, man. But then I'm gonna get back up. You can't just stay on that knee. Get up. You gotta get up. You know what I mean? I think that's like you said, Bobby. Going to your point, is we show them how to get up. We kind of have to be the ones screaming at ourselves and say, get up, get back up. And we show them. I think that allows them to accept it when we're yelling at them. Get up. Yeah, it sucks. Life sucks sometimes, baby. It is what it is. But get back up. And eventually you'll get there, man. So, that was good, man. That was I like that. That helped kind of uplift me, man. Hey, one thing about this podcast, man, it's like my therapy too, man. So I appreciate it.
Woosah.
That's what's up.
Hey,
man.
when that Street Fighter movie comes out, we got to do like a double date. 'Cause I know for sure we'll want to go and see that.
I'm with it. We just want to go see 50 Cent. I'm not gonna tell Val.
The ones.
Go.
Hey man, that wraps up another great episode. This is a good episode, man. Real good. I think we got a lot of gold, man, especially for the parents, young parents too, out there. Gen Z having kids now, man. So hopefully they can take some of this stuff.
Teach your children manners, please, for the love of God. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you, and please will go a long way in life. I promise it will.
Yes, it will. So taking us out, Bobby, since you talking, let the folks know what they can get from you and how you can help them in the Bexar County and surrounding areas.
Yeah, if you're in the Bexar County area, we service Wilson County, Atascosa, Medina, every county around the greater San Antonio area. We are Patriot Restorations LLC. We are a disabled veteran-owned small business here in the state of Texas, focusing on water mitigation issues. So if you have a water heater bust inside your house, a leaky refrigerator, and it gets water all over the place, call us. Let us help get a little investigation going to make sure that there's not mold spreading that's going to potentially harm you or your family members or your pets. Please give us a call, drop me a DM, and we can get out there and get you taken care of.
Speaking of which, tropical storm just hit. I don't know the name of the tropical storm. So everyone, Bexar County, surrounding areas, out of coast, all of that stuff. If for whatever reason there are any leaks anywhere, hit her up, Patriot Restorations, because
let us help you.
It bees like that sometimes. So hopefully it doesn't happen. But if you're here locally with this tropical storm, if y'all need help, hit her up, man. Dr. Pooh, speaking of water, what are you helping people with out there that relates to water in the LA area, man?
Yeah, we're doing swimming pools and spa services and maintenances and filter cleanings. It's that time of year to get your filter cleaned. So you can have me do that for you by reaching me online, D_R_pool on all the platforms, Instagram, Messenger, YouTube, all that stuff, Twitter. And we'll get you going for the summertime, get you ready to do some diving and some barbecuing. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Hit them up, man. Hit them up. Corey Giovanni, the main man with the game plan, man. What you helping people with out there in LA, man?
Yo. If you having issues with your views on your YouTube channel, or if you're looking to go ahead and start a podcast, reach out to your boy. I'll make sure I take care of you right now. We got some specials on services. So just go ahead and click the link in the description below, how you can get in contact with me, or you can click that checkout list, that checklist that's in the description. Man, it's gonna do you some wonders right there, and it's some free trials in there. So go ahead, get the list, and that checklist is absolutely non-negotiable free.
Oh, wait, $3.99. I like
$3.99. Click and get.
Nice. And then I do got a vacation rental out here, man. Some people call it an Airbnb, but it's on Airbnb, VRBO. We got a few different places, man. But if you come to San Antonio, it is 10 minutes away from the Riverwalk, 10 minutes away from downtown. It's close to everything, man. So if you're coming out here, you need a spot to stay, hit me up, man. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at tech_Von_go. I'll shoot you a little discount code, man. We got a few specials going on for the summertime. Hit your boy up. Other than that, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, thank y'all for spending the night with us, man. Y'all have a great week. We love y'all. Have a good night. We out. What's that? The Wakanda Forever?
I know. What was this, Wakanda over here?
You can go Wakanda or CM Punk,